razor rides and high proof tequila. Today, I'm going to talk about what I got to do last week with the great brand Cultura 100. I actually got to fly down into Guadalajara, be picked up and taken to Arandas, Mexico. We got to Arandas. We checked in at the apartment that we were staying at on the first night, and we got to go out to Sergio Cruz's house. We jumped in some razors, and the group that were there, myself, Jeff Boitman, Keith Bogart, Ken Eyre, Jesse, Sergio Cruz Jr., and Sergio. We jumped in his 4 or 5 razors. We all loaded up and took off into the dust. We rode those things for hours. We went to this really awesome point at the end of this mountain, at the edge of the state line for Jalisco and Guanajuato. And we just kind of stood there and looked at the awe of this amazing, beautiful area. And there was a Virgin Mary painted on the end of a rock on a tower. History talks about it's one of the very first places that they held mass before they were freed in Mexico and you could be Catholic. So pretty awesome evening, all the way back to Sergio's house, about an hour drive. Got back there covered in dust, went into Sergio's man cave at his house, and he just started popping tequilas that he had made that we could taste, and it was so fun. So we were there for some fun, but we were there for some serious stuff as well. What we were there to do is help come up with the proof and the final product for the Cultura 100 high proof tequila that's coming out. And what happened is they take these bottles right here. This one's at 64%. This is heads, hearts at 47, and then some tails at 8% alcohol. And these were blended together to come up with different flavors and different proofs. And when we got there, that part had been mostly done, and they landed on a 52, a 53, and a 54% alcohol. And they wanted us, the group, to taste through them. Now, added to the group were Chris and Drew from Sip, Savor, and Celebrate, which is a great YouTube channel if you haven't seen that one. They joined us to go through the tasting of these to come up with what proof should it be. The group was kind of split. Some of us were on 53, some of us were on 54 proof. And what happened is we had this crazy idea to blend all 3 of those together. And that turned out to be a phenomenal taste. So that blend is put together. They're going into the bottles at 54% and letting it rest a little bit before it goes in the bottles. And then we came back the next day and started tasting through the bottles to taste how it tasted once it went into the bottles. And we'd taste like bottle, 100, bottle 500, bottle 1100, and kind of taste through those as it changed in the bottling process. So today I want to crack this bottle right here and taste it. All right, let's uncork this thing and give it a try. Technically a fresh pop. Now, regular Cultura 100, fantastic tequila. The Blanco, it came out at 40 proof, and it is a great flavor. It's a great easy sipper, and it's a go-to for me. The Repo, they put it out at like 40, I think it's 43% or 86 proof. Hypes up the flavor of the agave, but still keeps a great oaky flavor, and it's not overpowered. This one, you're going to have at 54. And you talk about the flavor of agave. You get it right in the nose. You get that cooked agave smell like you're standing next to the oven. Signature 1414 tequila. You get citrus. You get minerality. I get a little bit of just petrichor or wet earth or wet soil. And there's a light floral note as well. Let's hit the taste of this one. Cooked agave, citrus. Get a little mint. Heats up in the back, a little bit of pepper, almost a vegetal type heat. I want to say similar to like a jalapeno. It's kind of a mix between jalapeno and pepper. There's a great vanilla note in there as well. The sweetness of that cooked agave going into that finish just really lingers. And you can still taste the cooked agave in the finish and the sweetness with a little bit of citrus. Let's do that again. More citrus that time. Orange. The flower is almost like an orange blossom. I get a little bit of lime going into that mint. That minerality is there, that petrichor, and then that's where it kind of turns into that jalapeno pepper for me. This is complex. Fermentation is a lot of the magic, and what Sergio does there is amazing. And of course, the cooking And the crushing is incredibly important. And how they cut the pinas. Did they do a close shave, or did they do a medium 1-inch cut, or did they do a longer cut? It's going to change the flavor of what that tequila tastes like when it's being fermented. And then when you get into distillation, how they know what percentage of each of these to use to make that blend to get you the flavors that you want, and then playing with that proof. Of course, adding some water to proof it down to keep it into your legal limits, or in this case, not very much water. It's all done with these three right here to get you the magic of this higher proof tequila. And to me, a high proof tequila gives you everything that you're looking for in a tequila. Every bit of the flavor that you want, all of that cooked agave, toasted agave, and the depth of the flavors that come out of a tequila with just a little less water. So you got to keep your eyes out for this one. First, I want to say thank you so much to Keith Bogart for inviting me to be a part of this. Jaime and his wife, the two incredible people that did so much for us. We had a party afterwards where we all hung out, had a great time. And I just want to say thanks for allowing me to be a part of it. And you need to look for this tequila. And keep your eyes out for some new videos that I have. I got to film some great content when we were there that day. So I'm going to have some really cool videos coming out about the actual distillery. I'm going to go through the whole process of the distillery and even some places that most people don't get to see. So keep your eyes out for that. If you liked this video, hit like and subscribe. There's going to be more like it. If you've had Cultura 100, I want to know what you think about it in the comments. And keep your eyes out for this high proof. It's going to be amazing. It'll knock your socks off. So I know you will love it. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. Cheers.